Have you ever seen someone eat their way out of a problem? Hi, I'm Bernice Hunt, and I am a brain health specialist. I work with women just like you who are starting to notice a few memory challenges, and I help you to stay sharp so that as you age, you can still travel, have fun with your grandkids, and experience new adventures without missing a beat. As a wellness coach for over 12 years, I run into people who've eaten their way into all kinds of things: obesity, gut issues, joint pain, back pain, even depression. Now, did you catch my last video? A few days ago, I did a quick video, and it was on eating foods that will make you feel better. Okay, and today I want to stay in that realm, and I wanted to talk specifically about inflammation and the signs of inflammation, as well as the foods you can eat that will discourage inflammation or encourage inflammation. So did you know that just like there are good carbs and bad carbs, there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol, there's also good inflammation and bad inflammation. Under certain conditions, inflammation is a good thing. For example, if you cut your finger, you have a paper cut or a small cut on your finger, starts getting red, it starts swelling. That's the inflammation occurs to protect you, to keep it from being infected, keep it from being invaded. And that's a good thing. And what's good about that, it's called acute inflammation because it's necessary. It's something your body needs to do to protect you. It's also only lasts for a few hours. It has a specific purpose, and it knows when to shut off. Unlike bad inflammation, which is actually called chronic inflammation or low-grade inflammation, that does not do the same thing. It's like you have a motor that keeps running, it's idling and keeps going and going and going. Or if you have a faucet that's leaking, has that constant drip that won't stop. It won't shut itself off. And over time, damage will be inevitable if it is ignored. Okay, so that's what we're talking about today, chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation can last a lifetime, and it can overtax your immune system, and it can make it harder for you to fight against existing conditions or new conditions. Did you know that many of us have some kind of chronic or low-grade inflammation coursing through our bodies? And the signs are there, but we don't typically connect those signs with it being inflammation. Like hypertension. Hypertension comes from your blood vessels, the walls on your blood vessels having little tears, getting little tears or rips in them, and it gets inflammation occurs. And so that low-grade inflammation, trying to address that issue, is ongoing as long as that's happening in your body. You take it to be high blood pressure, but it's more than high blood pressure. It's an inflammation that needs to be addressed. Obesity. We definitely don't make that connection a lot of times to inflammation, but obesity, excess fat cells create toxins in our body, and it poisons our system, and inflammation is occurring trying to deal with that. And that's an ongoing thing. Arthritis. Now, arthritis is something we do usually connect to inflammation because we know that it's swelled and that's going on. But that's a sign of inflammation occurring in your body, as is poor dental hygiene or dental issues or teeth or gum issues in your mouth. If you're having those issues in your mouth, that's a sign of inflammation there, and it's ongoing if it doesn't get addressed. Okay, now, believe it or not, pain and fatigue are the most common signs of inflammation happening in your body. And unfortunately, most seniors just take that as par for the course. They just say, oh, I guess I'm getting old. That's just going to come with age. But it's not that it's coming with age. It's coming with inflammation that is continuing to occur as you age. There's even a term that experts have now for that. They call it inflammation with age. Okay, now inflammation was probably there before the age, but since you're getting older, it's harder for you to deal with it, and now it's more evident, and you're connecting it with the age instead of connecting it with you having chronic inflammation that's been there for a while. With pain and fatigue also comes stress, comes sleep issues, comes anxiety, acid reflux can come from that, constipation, diarrhea, depression. All those are also signs of chronic inflammation. We need to understand that when that is happening, we also need to address the inflammation problem that's ongoing. How can we deal with this chronic inflammation? They say that the number one way to deal with chronic inflammation is weight loss. Weight loss. I know you may not want to hear it, but that is the number one way of dealing with chronic inflammation, the most effective way to reduce it. And how can you lose weight? You guys know how you can lose weight. Diet and exercise. Come on and say it. Diet and exercise is still there. Still what's going to happen. What you need to do to lose weight. Okay. Diet and exercise is very important. Now, exercise is definitely important, and it's a powerful thing to add on if you're trying to lose weight. But we're not going to talk about exercise today. We only got so much time, and our focus is strategic eating. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about food. All right. So when you want to know, focusing on food, what you need to do is you have to talk about your kind of food. You talk about the quality of food, the quantity of food, and the frequency of food. We need to address all those issues when we're talking about strategic eating. All right. So in terms of the kind of food, actually the kind of food is very similar to all the diets that you hear a lot about, like the Mediterranean diet, the DASH diet, the MIND diet. I have something for brain health called Campbell's diet, and any of those are focusing on high fiber, antioxidants, healthy fats, reducing that sugar, eliminating those unhealthy fats, and also reducing sodium. Okay, so those are the things you want to do with any of those diets, and that's going to be good for your chronic inflammation. Experts call it an anti-inflammation diet. So what your point is that you're trying to concentrate and focus on feeding your good bacteria, because do you know that 70 to 80% of your immune system is right there in your gut? So you want to keep them babies happy, the good ones, and you want to get the bad ones under control. You need to eat those things that are going to benefit them, because food is not neutral. Food that you eat is either going to discourage inflammation, tone it down, or it's going to encourage inflammation, fuel it. There's no other way to do it. It's not neutral. It's going to do one or it's going to do the other. So you need to choose what you want to eat to do what you want to happen in your body. What foods are pro-inflammatory? I know you know that too. You just try not to say it. You can go ahead and tell me, you know, the added sugars, the processed foods, the red meats, the processed meats. You know what I'm talking about. Trans fats. You know that I'm talking about all those things. Ultra processed, those are the things that you should not be eating. And one really good reason why is because they're pro-inflammatory. All right. Unfortunately, though, that composes what they call the standard American diet, or the SAD diet, because that's a sad day when you start eating that way. You're going to have a lot of sad days from eating that way. You don't want to eat those things, but that can change. How's that going to change? Because you're going to start eating strategically. You're going to focus on certain foods that are anti-inflammatory instead of pro-inflammatory. And guess what's going to happen with that? You're going to lose weight, and you're going to better manage your chronic inflammation. Now, foods that, when we talk about quantity, luckily, when you get on these kind of diets, the anti-inflammatory diets, all the fiber that's in there and all the nutrients in there run their course, and more than likely you're automatically going to reduce the quantity of food you're eating, because guess what? You're not going to be eating empty calories. When you eat empty calories, your body just keeps on wanting to eating because it's looking for, it's like trying to get a fix, it's searching for that fix. It wants to get satiated. It wants to get those nutrients in there, and you keep on eating. But when you're eating from the anti-inflammatory diets, you are eating potent nutrients, and you're going to get full. You're eating a lot of fiber, and you're going to feel full and content. So you don't have to worry that much about quantity, because you're not going to be able to eat all that food. You're not going to be able to do it. Okay, so quantity's taken care of. The kind is taken care of. The quality, we're talking about organic foods, and we're talking about eating from the rainbow. Talking about quality, and we're talking about frequency. Frequency has to do with, you're not going to be eating all day long. So we're dealing with some type of intermittent fasting, and also you're going to be eating from the rainbow. So you're going to get a lot of variety of different foods on a regular basis. Okay. So we're dealing with that, because if you do all those things, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a plan intact that is going to manage or reduce or possibly eliminate your chronic inflammation, and you're going to have weight loss. It's going to be a happy day for you guys. It's going to be a good thing. Okay. That's what we want to do. Now, I've got a list of anti-inflammatory foods in case you can't remember or you don't know all the things you can eat. If you want to list it, it's right on my website, keepyourbrainsharp.com. You can go there. You get access to my resource library. My resource library has a lot of free handouts and things that you can take from there, and you can find the handout that goes with this video, 282, Lord Jesus, 282 is the number of this video, strategic eating, okay, and find the list of anti-inflammatory foods. I have one more thing to say. Today is my sister Valerie's birthday. Woohoo! I won't say how old she is because she may not want me to, but she's my older sister, if that gives you some idea. And so if you know my sister Val, be sure to give her a ring or text her or something. Wish her happy birthday, because I'm sure she'll appreciate it. All right, that's all I have today. And just remember that your brain's destiny is in your hands.